Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Check.
Minutes until showtime.
All right. Anybody who's checking out the live stream account right now, you're just getting to see a little bit of the back room login. I'm going to Skype Mr. Webster in at this exact moment, and you guys get a little bit of the back room conversation that we have 1 minute to air type style every week. So let me just get off here and then get Mr. Webster on, and then we'll be right on the show in a minute and a half. Thanks for joining us. This is Chance George from the Media Broadcasting Center. Let's find Paul on Skype.
One minute until showtime.
Chance George.
Paul Webster, we're live on the live stream, buddy. 30 seconds to air. I couldn't get you on the other Skype version. Is this all right?
What's that? This rather than Skype?
No, I'm saying I just tried you on Skype and it kept saying call failed, so I just did this.
Oh, I just logged in now.
Okay, we're 10 seconds to air. Worst case, I'll try it halfway through the show or something.
Sure.
All right, piss. You're bringing us in after the intro.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Dad, how did you spread information to citizens when the global power structure took over the world?
I joined the resistance.
Breaking news, vital information, classified documents. Global Fact Radio Network presents Truth Talk. We are change truth seekers. Paul Paradigm Breaking Webster, along with Chance George. Up kicking lies, protecting their loved ones while educating yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and welcome again to another edition. It's Wednesday, October 2nd. You're listening to Truth Talk on the Global Fact Radio Network, and we're simulcasting on live stream at WeBookYourShow.com. I'm your host, Paul Webster. Along with me is my co-host and good friend, Chance George. What's going on, Chance?
Too much to comment all in one sentence, Paul, but very beautiful day out in my neck of the woods, and we have lots of information to report on tonight. How are you, my friend?
Man, I'm doing great. It's October 2nd, and it's beautiful out here, so, I mean, we're lucky to have an Indian summer. It's episode 61, Chance. What's the title?
Episode 61 title is entitled... that's why I gave you the title in the message before the show, Mr. Webster. Oh,
I didn't write it down.
Yes, of course not. It's actually called A Message from the Government. We're closed.
We're closed.
That's right.
It reminds me of a Public Enemy song, Shut 'Em Down. We should play that song, man.
I'll see what I can do about uploading it on the fly.
Just play it off YouTube during a break.
Nice. Do you want me to get at a couple programming notes before we get into some of our news stories for the day?
Absolutely. Hit the programming notes, and then we'll open up the phones for everybody to call in on Skype or the number.
Oh, you wanted to do that? You wanted to do
No, programming notes first, by all means.
Okay.
And then open up the phones, and we'll go to her, man.
All right, awesome. Good call. All right, Mr. Webster, this might be news to you at the same time. This is a news to anyone. Some of the updates that are happening right now. Let me pull up my entire notepad of notes. All right, just to get people started right away, a huge difference you're going to see. We are simulcasting on Global Fact, and we are hosting on network radio and broadcasting from the Media Broadcasting Center on live stream. We're trying to work out the Skype issue between Paul's phone and my computer. Otherwise, you would see his lovely face on screen there. Right now, we're just going to show the chat room.
Flashlight. It's dark out here, guys, and I'm outside my little office here, and I got no light, so...
I'm going to set you up with some lights, Paul. Don't worry, we're working on all this. And, okay, so what you're seeing on screen on the live stream channel right now is the chat room, and it may look different to people because on Global Fact Radio and on network radio, I have locked out the chat rooms. I'll just see if I can show people on screen here. We've managed to lock out the chat rooms. It looks just like this. It's disabled. I have the moderator activated. And basically that is because what we want to do is instead of me switching between Global Fact chat room, network radio chat room, the live stream chat room, and my Facebook messages, all I've done is lock everything out, and we've turned our own custom 24-hour-a-day chat room that's embedded in WeBookYourShow.com. So if you go to WeBookYourShow.com, it's the easiest way to find it. There's a chat live tab there. On any of the chat rooms that you're looking at is a message that says this is locked out, but here is the live link. So any of those will get you on here. I've logged in at 3 in the morning and seen people on there chatting. So not only does it not end at the end of the show, but it stays up live. You can just have conversations with people you meet on here, like-minded individuals, or like what I said, one of the problems I always see is there's great conversations on our shows, and then the episode's over and it's all gone. So not only can people not reference links that people posted, but the whole record of everything's gone. So this will stay up 24 hours a day. It's embedded. That's one of the major things that we're working on as we're moving to our own servers and all the stuff it entails. So like I said, we're simulcasting on Global Fact. That's where you can hear some of the free radio streams. On network radio, we have the radio stream. On the live stream channel, it's easiest to just go on WeBookYourShow.com, and there's links right on it instead of me actually saying out the whole name. The name, if you're looking on live stream, is Network Radio Live. Very original. Very hard to figure out. All right, let's see what else we got. WeBookYourShow.com, like I said, is probably one of the best places to get all the links. There's a whole new revamped site. We've got news and articles up there. We've got a small little product page with just some of my shirts and the alternative mummy spray, which is in the commercials at the halfway point of the show. You'll hear all about that. These products, I'm telling you, folks, I'm not just trying to say this because she's making... these are like $3 and $4 sales. It's not like she's making like $1 million off this. I'm telling you, these things work. Okay, it's on my counter every day. We got the first bottle. We got the labels on it. It's cute and all that. But I mean, dude, it really works, Paul, and it smells great. I'm gonna send some over so that your better half can try some of these alternative products because it's very healthy for your family.
Shoot me a sample bottle, Georgie, and if I like it, I'll rant about it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Speaking of one-line rants, the boys in West Memphis Suicide, I did a show on the weekend because at the Media Broadcasting Center, we don't just do radio, we do live events, we do sound and lights for different things, and I did a show with West Memphis Suicide. They're the guys that you hear in the very popular clip. I know it's Paul's favorite and one of mine here. Let me just show you the clip.
Proposal here at West Memphis Suicide, and you're listening to fellow dirtbags, Paul and Chance, sticking it to the man on the hardest hitting show, Truth Talk.
Yeah, buddy, I just did a show with those boys on the weekend. I did their Sound and Lights, fantastic show in Brantford, actually your hometown, Paul. And
nice.
I was talking to the guys, and the lead singer is well aware of what's going on. He's wide awake. He's going to come out and do a couple more one-liners for us, but all video this time, Paul, so it'll be on our video channel. A lot of big things happening. Just to mention some of the things that's happening in the Media Broadcasting Center itself, we are going to be able to start showing people that not only do I have this wonderful TV persona I'm going to be on the TV stream, and people are going to get to stare at me while I'm trying to host this show and make me feel awkward, as if it's not awkward enough talking to a few thousand of my closest friends from my own home. But I have a green screen going on behind me, so now we're going to have virtual studios. I've been able to load up some of those and start sampling through some little pre-recorded things, and that stuff's easy. So we're working on getting it to go live for the live stream. So I'll be on the live stream in the bottom corner from a virtual studio. I'm going to try and get Pulse at least some lights so that we have him in a picture. And if we can get you, I've looked into this, Paul, if we could even just get you, the painter, some paint, and we could paint one single piece of wall or even one really good green cloth and hang it in your bunker or down at Mikey's awesome studio, and we could even just kind of get you in a little window with your own little bit of virtual studio going on.
That's a great idea right there, man. I'll suggest it to Mikey. In the studio, we just painted the control room a nice squash kind of thing. It was called butternut something. It wasn't butternut squash. I'm thinking of baby food, but it was butternut something. And anyways, speaking of paint, we could paint one of those walls green, so we could like shoot video. We already have like sites for video cameras to go up in there, but I never thought of the green screen aspect.
I can even do you one better. For your show on network radio, we host a show on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. We've only had one episode because it's all based out of a studio, a music studio, not like our radio station studio, but an actual professional music studio that Paul has been quite a big hand at helping build. Like he's saying, they just finished painting it. And I have a live stream broadcaster. It attaches to my high-def camera. I can bring it down there, set up a couple angles, and when you do your show broadcasting and having bands play on professional equipment in the studio on our network, we could have the video files going up live on live stream from HD cameras, as well as many video cameras as you guys have. Is that not phenomenal? Okay, so this is basically going to a whole new level. The video stream, all the different stuff like that, a lot of the angles. Some of our other shows that are on network radio, just a quick run through some of those. Oh, actually, get on the Global Fact Radio right away. Tony on Thursdays does his show Conscious Living, and I know that he's had some really big shows lately and some big guests on there, so definitely you want to tune in on Thursdays to Conscious Living. He has a brand new show on Sundays, and I'm not 100% sure on the title because I don't have Global Fact pulled up in front of my face, so I don't want to cram off the wrong name, but definitely tune in to his Facebook page, Global Fact, and get all your updates on where he's going with all of those new shows. And if you're on network radio for any of our shows, Monday is You're Not Laughing Anymore, Tuesday is Canada the Nation, Wednesday Truth Talk, Friday is going to be Alternative Mummy, and she has her next show coming up with Tom the Beekeeper. The whole episode's pre-recorded, shows us how to make honey. I've actually got a jar of it on the table. It's spilled all over the place, and it's a hell of a mess, but man, is it delicious, and there's no GMO in it. It's totally awesome. We have him on Alternative Mummy. And one huge announcement confirmed, November 13th, we are getting the legendary author, researcher, lecturer, actual university course on JFK. Jim Mars will be on Truth Talk November 13th in JFK season. He'll be talking about his new book, The Occulted...
What?
Yeah, dude, The Occulted... History, and we're going to talk about the other book that I just picked up for my birthday, Crossfire. JFK, dude, how do you like that? Jim Mars, man. Bam!
Jim Mars has the time to talk to us.
Buddy, I've been in email correspondence with him, and this dude's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great work, George.
I know. I'm all over this stuff, Paul. All over this.
He just had a guy on. He just had a guy that flies stuff for the CIA.
I know, dude.
Who just whistle blew about stuff.
I know.
He came to Jim Mars with the info, and Jim Mars went to Alex with it.
Dude, I'm going to bring that up first. I heard the interview, and it was the day that I messaged him. He didn't get back to me right away because of all that.
What's that?
He didn't get back to me right away. There was about a couple-day correspondent gap because he was in the middle of all that happening. So this is going to be front and center on my part of the interview. Bring it up.
Cool. Wow, amazing. Wow, that's pretty good, George. Good for you, man.
All right, so like Paul said, I'm going to hit the phone lines for our Truth Talk show, and we'll be back in just under 1 minute.
Broadcasting live on Network Radio.
So turn off your television set, turn them off now, turn them off and leave them off.
Simulcasting on Global Fact Radio.
It's going. You're on the air.
All right. Apparently, we've already got a caller into the show, so
You call in, you get on. Boom.
you're on the air. Hello? Hello?
Call in now to talk with Paul and Chance at 718-664-6212 or hit the Skype icon for free.
That's right.
For free!
Yeah! 718-664-6212. That's the number to join us. Or you can hit the Skype icon and call us for free. You can add CK George 2012 to Skype and message me, and I'll call out to you. You can send me a private message on Facebook, and I will dial out to you. Any way that you want. Like I said before, we can be throwing messages in a bottle to you, and somehow we'll get the information out to you. I've just noticed on Facebook as I'm surfing around in my multimedia center here, and I have all these screens around me, I just noticed Will Preacher, I believe he looks to be commenting to people that he's going to be calling in tonight on the Truth Talk show, so I guess we'll be expecting him. I'll try and keep an eye on the studio page itself, because sometimes I get all over. Yeah, he's actually logged into one of the network radio chat rooms, so we'll be able to look forward to hearing from him. Like-minded individual who was on a mission. This guy's fired up too, Paul. It's pretty good. You should listen to his Monday shows. They're getting pretty big reviews and lots of numbers on there. Before the end of tonight's show, once again, I'm going to play Paul's Alex Jones song. I totally love this song. It's under 2 minutes. I know everyone hates Alex Jones, but I love him.
George,
Yo.
George, you gotta download the revamped version, man. The one I went back and worked on it a week later. I re-uploaded it to my SoundCloud, exclusively mine, not Mikey's.
Yeah, I couldn't get a download.
It's got a chorus.
I know, I couldn't get a download, dude. Sorry. All I got's this.
Really?
Yeah, all I got's the version that Mikey had. If you could send me the file, I'll have it uploaded in 30 seconds. But I don't have the file, and when I went to download it, I couldn't get it. Sorry. That's all I got, buddy.
All right.
That's all I got. I got Jim Mars though.
Out of curiosity, I just pushed play.
No, not at all.
Hold on. No, it stopped playing.
Okay.
I'm Wi-Fi. It's decide what to do, Wi-Fi or not. Never mind. Keep talking, George. Drums will kick in all of a sudden over you.
Nice. Well, if I hear drums, I'll shut up. But do you want to get into some of the news stories for tonight for the first half of our show, as we've already eaten up the first quarter of our show? We'll get some news stories up before we get into our main topic. The most important story of the world, folks. I don't know how anybody is not online right now completely commenting about this. What's the most important story in the world right now, Paul? It's in the Los Angeles Times.
The government being shut down?
No, dude. This is way more important.
Oh, what?
Oh, shizer. Okay, hold on. I got a little bit of a... I've got 50 windows open, and I just can't take it at the moment. Hold on a sec. Okay. All right, on screen, Los Angeles Times. This is from 10 minutes ago. Breaking news, most important story in the world. Michael Jackson, back in the news. Live updates from the Michael Jackson jury. And they have sided with the doctor from the Live group, and they found him not to be criminally responsible. The concert promoter is not responsible and will not be paying any more money or any money out to these people. Let me just read off what we have here. Live updates. Michael Jackson jury explains why it sided with AEG. Jurors in the Michael Jackson wrongful death case sided with the... You know what? Nobody gives a crap about this, okay? But this...
I'm wondering what the hell's going on here.
I know, dude. This is the shit. I don't even like to swear on the show.
You know what? I'll tell you right now. There's this... Along that shit lines that we're talking about, this is the shit. Along the lines of, quote, the shit, we got, like, people like Miley Cyrus, and I mean, I hate to talk about her, man. It's just like talking about, what was that girl? Oh, I forget their names.
Lindsay Lohan.
Miley's name too, man. What's that?
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the one we always made. I forget her name. I didn't even know what they said about her. I don't even know. I just know that she was referred to as a
useless
person of distraction of media. Who I'm sure she had no idea. I'm just saying that everybody was on focus on. Anyways, Miley's got 2 videos that came out since we talked about her at the MV Awards, whatever she did. Remember, we were talking about the awards and the iconography and all the devil horns and her, like that whole twerking thing comes from a cat putting its ass up in the air and saying let's have relations. You know, that's where that comes from. And now I see people on Facebook. I caught my kid twerking in the mirror. Ha 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 ha! Check it out. They post a video. Like, this is what the world's coming to. Okay, so this is why Miley Cyrus is relevant, and whether we want to face it or not, man, that scene's got to be addressed. Okay, because then her next video, 5 days later, she's butt naked on a wrecking ball. George, you see that?
Yeah, I'm a wrecking ball, dude. Yeah, I've seen that. It's terrible.
Naked, and she's like licking a sledgehammer, like she wants to like eat it. Man, I'm telling you, she's like making out with this, and she's on a wrecking ball, and it's going through walls, and she's butt naked. The only thing stopping her nip is the chain of the wrecking ball, right?
Dude, it's so... All these videos are so Illuminati.
That didn't bother me as much, okay? I was like, oh, man, come on, have some taste, because everybody looks up to you, Hannah Montana. Like, come on, who is your manager? This is driving me nuts. And then she comes out with the next video, dude, and in the chorus, it says something about getting high on perp. And perp is cough medicine and Kool-Aid or something like that mixed up. That's perp. And she's talking about getting high on perp. She's like little girls in grade 8 are looking up to her and stuff.
I'm not, dude, younger than that, man. I'm not saying my little girl, because my little girl has been taught a lot better, but my 8-year-old girl has friends, my 8-year-old daughter has friends who wear the Hannah Montana. They know everything about Hannah Montana, and they now know that Hannah Montana is a crackhead who's on a wrecking ball, naked, twerking her ass, looking for sexual relations. Okay?
Unbelievable,
absolutely
dude.
terrible.
Well, anyways, that was on the subject of shit that doesn't matter, quote. And it does have an effect on society. It makes those people even harder to reach.
The only reason I would ever bring it up on our show is because if you look at the symbolism that's in the videos, that's some occult worship stuff that we could talk about. There's a lot of distractions that come out of this crap, but, I mean, if you ever bring up Miley Cyrus again on the show, Paul, I swear to God, I will get a new host.
I'm telling you, George.
Dude,
it's right now. It has relevance.
Oh, shit.
It's just like people don't want to look at us and look at our information. We don't want to look at that information.
I know.
Because we just say, oh, that stuff shit doesn't matter. But meanwhile, it matters because everybody's focused on it. So, what are they focused on? Holy shit, there's some really bad stuff that they're focused on right there. We should probably address it and then try and make them like see that. And I actually noticed, if you look at the comments on the videos, they're all bad now. They're all like, oh my God, put some clothes on, you slut, and all this stuff like that, right? So
okay.
My language.
Just to change topics right away, actual real news worth talking about. I have a story on screen right now for those of you on live stream. Be sure to tune in right now and subscribe and get it all while it's still free, because once it gets crazy HD, it's going to, subscriber base only. But basically right now on screen, World War II veterans storm D.C. Memorial closed by government shutdown. It has a picture on screen of some tough guy cops protecting the memorial, like the thing's stone. And these dudes who fought for our country and died, no problem. Their friends and their families who are trying to honor them met resistance from government officials. Not only is there basically no money even dealing with this park or anything to do with the park or any of these national parks or the monuments. They're not spending anything, you know what I mean, in comparison to what's really going on. Like, you know, a couple rental cops, maybe a groundskeeper, you know what I mean? It's nothing. They're spending billions and billions of dollars paying the private Federal Reserve all kinds of money. That's an entire story I have right here on the Grace Commission and some of the findings that we have back from President Nixon's days. But just to comment on the story that's on the screen, what do you think about the fact that the U.S. government, Paul, has shut their doors or shut down, they've stopped working, and now they're literally locking veterans out of the D.C. War Memorial? What do you think of that, Paul? Comment?
The locking veterans at a D.C. War Memorial doesn't surprise me. They've been asserting their power for the last 3 or 4 years more heavily exponentially, and it's almost to be expected anymore. Like, they got guards everywhere, and they're on high alert on everything, and they're being trained to take on the people and everything else. We know that. It's not surprising, George, about that. The whole shutdown, lockdown of the government, I think it's actually just staged. It's going to make it seem like if Obamacare fails now, it's all about Obamacare. And now, when like everybody's premiums, like Geraldo was on Alex's show the other day, he said, "Yeah, my premiums have doubled. I got 6 employees, and my premiums have doubled, man. Like, this is actually, I was for it before, but now this is actually a screw job." I don't know if it's Georgia. It's got 10,000 pages of legislation. I haven't read it all, but I do know that in the United States, if I go break my leg, the very first thing they do is check my insurance, because if they do anything wrong, they're liable. And if I go to that hospital bed with no insurance, I owe $10,000. There's such thing as charity care, but they don't implement charity care because they're all screw jobs now. Yeah, they all admit it. Oh, yeah, we got the best system out there, but it doesn't work because everybody's corrupt. But the illegals, they get in, they say it in the other language, "Oh, charity care," and they get in for charity care. But all the citizens, they sit on the beds and they rot because they don't have the right insurance, or the nurses that are supposed to be taking care of the patients are in there on the computers looking up all the right paperwork, making sure they don't cross a T or dot an I wrong, because the hospital will be liable for a $3 billion lawsuit if they screw anything up wrong. So they got interns that were working on the patients in the hallway who haven't even got proper care at all, and that's what I'm hearing anyway. And $10,000 for a bed in the hospital one night is out frickin' outrageous. So on that note, that's craziness. I don't know how they work down there with their system if they don't actually have charity care, which they're supposed to have, but it never works out apparently, what people are saying. They should start cracking down on hospitals that are supposed to be charity care if they're not following the rules of 1/3 of your care is supposed to be charity.
All right, Paul, you hear the phone ringing in the background?
Yep.
All right, I'm just calling.
Hello.
Will, this is Chance George from Network Radio. You are live and on air, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
How are we doing, brother?
I'm
good. I actually was holding the baby there for a second while the wife went down for a cigarette, and got my head puked on.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How old's the baby?
Don't lift the baby up and down when she's just had her last feeding of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
How old?
I was showering in the morning anyway.
Nice.
All right, Will is our Monday night host on Network Radio on the show So You're Not Laughing Anymore, and this is Paul Webster you're speaking with on the other side of the line here, Will. This is my Wednesday co-host and one of my very best friends for a long-ass time now. So I don't know if you guys have met on air, but you have now.
A pleasure, Will. How you doing, man?
Honored to meet you, brother.
Right on.
To the show there. You were talking about the price of healthcare if you were to land up there without insurance. I can't remember the source now offhand, but there was I think it was a leak or a whistleblower there a few years back now. I remember hearing about it, and they were quoting things like scalpels costing $5,000. Now, I don't know if that was the military side of it but just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much do they cost for those things mass produced?
It's
10 cents?
absolutely been
I'm not sure if
corrupted.
it was between $3 and $5 anyway.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
All right, well, what we're bringing up on screen for people, I know that Will's been one of the people who's managed to check in on our live streams and let me know how it's pulling up. So I'm going to show another story on live stream right now. I'll get your gentleman's comment on it. This is another article about the veterans themselves. And here is, politically speaking, King helps vets push past barricades at shattered D.C. Memorial. This is U.S. Representative Stephen King, Republican of Iowa, stands with military veterans. This is, I believe, yesterday, October 1st, and he was down there physically pushing back resistance against the people, and the police, from what I hear down there, actually started to stand down and showed a little bit of decency because they don't see what the hell's going on. Comments, Will, and then Paul.
Yeah, I think we have to remember there that, well, like we have the sovereign understanding up here. Not every law enforcement officer approves of what's going on. We personally don't accept the excuse, oh, I need the paycheck, it's just my job. But, I mean, when you're invested in the system and stuff like that, yeah, everybody should be standing up and being honorable and standing with those veterans, be it that they've been in wars that were for profit or not. Their honorable intention at the time was just that. So, yeah, I don't... but I think a lot of the politicians and stuff...
hey, it's Sarah.
The federal level ones, they've been getting their payoffs and stuff, right? So I think it's just political posturing with them. Just trying to save their ass. I think they see the elites and their puppet government. I think they see it starting to sink. So they're going to go back to their constituents now and try to act honorable. Keeping in mind, I guess there could be a couple amongst them, but you know, from what we've seen so far, before we started winning the information war, yeah, I think it's just rats jumping ship.
What do you think, Mr. Webster?
Yeah, it's probably a front because normally a guy from what would you say? What from Ottawa? From Iowa, sorry.
Yeah, he was a senator, Republican, of course.
Senator.
A Republican.
I mean, a senator got down there and got in the cops' faces. To me, that seems, I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit out of hand, wouldn't you say? I mean, for him to risk getting arrested and everything else, he knew that they knew who he was. I would say that's my only. That's all I can think.
Yeah, I mean, do we know if he's one of the ones that's come across the YouTube video standing up in the House of Congress, blasting Obama? Like, I know we had, like, Ron Paul stood up and, like, different ones. If he had been one of those ones, if we find out that he was one of those ones that stood up in Congress, I may give more credit to him being actually of honorable standing.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see some footage. Chance, is there any YouTube videos about this? Is there any? There's got to be footage. Everybody's got a phone.
Yep, there sure is.
I'll just post it up later after the show
on the live stream there in the chat room, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually right now. I'm showing it on screen. The article. There is a couple of YouTube videos. I've been pulling them up on my second screen. Just to quickly skip through this one right here. I have another story on screen. Let's see where we're at here. So many stories on screen. This one is Obama administration decided to block access to the memorials. Okay, this is literally coming straight from the top. This is on President Barack Obama. He's trying to pass the buck on to the people who are standing up against them. These congressmen and senators and the people who are coming out, and even the police, like we're saying, how some of them are standing down. We're 2 minutes past the half-hour break. Some of these subjects that I'm going to bring up in our news is basically wrapped into our last half of the show topic anyway. So I'm just going to try and find our halfway show clip. All right, I have located the correct clip because I am notorious for pushing the wrong damn button. And
say, watch the phones kick in.
yeah, if phones kick in, I quit, man. That's it. All right, so we'll be back with Paul Webster, my co-host, and we are joined by the host of You're Not Laughing Anymore, Will, and we'll be back in 2 minutes after this quick break.
Hi, Alternative Mummy here. Have you ever prepared your family's food in your kitchen after cleaning it with store-bought products? Of course you have. Now, think about this. Most of those products contain dangerous and toxic chemicals, and they must be stored safely out of reach. Yet people clean with these products, put food in some cases directly on the just clean surface, then allow themselves and their families to consume the food. Do you see something wrong with this? Well, I definitely do, and that's why I created Alternative Spray, 100% natural and safe for mine and your family. Find out how to try my family's favorite lemon fresh and citrus blends by visiting my blog at www.webookyourshow.com. That's www.webookyourshow.com. I'm Alternative Mummy, bringing you the natural side of everyday issues.
Are you like me and drink coffee and tea every day? I know I'm totally hooked, but I don't like the effects. However, I've tried this coffee and tea that not only tastes great, but is a much healthier choice. And I know that sounds impossible, but it's anti-aging, builds the immune system, increases energy, and it's GMO-free. You've got to try it out at perceptioniseverything.com. That's perceptioniseverything.com.
Proposal here, West Memphis Suicide, and you're listening to fellow dirtbags, Paul and Chance, sticking it to the man on the hardest hitting show, Truth Talk.
All right, we are back live on this Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013, flying through this year. We are in the middle of the FEMA Region 3 alert phase that everyone's been talking about, hyped up, and going on about for the last week or two on Facebook. Like I said, after this stuff gets exposed, it basically just dies off, and everyone will say those crazy conspiracy theorists were wrong.
Hey.
Nothing happened.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, people are going to say that nothing happened. These guys cried wolf again. But when we don't comment on it, something happens. If we do comment on it, they move on to the next plan. But we're
on that note, Georgie, I heard the talking point today that the government's doing all this stuff to set up for total collapse and economic collapse to shoot us and not to feed us. And then I thought about the FEMA Region 3 drill or whatever is supposed to come up. That they order millions of packets of water and millions of packets of meals or dry food that last years or whatever it was. They ordered all this stuff for FEMA Region 3, was it, Georgie? I don't know, whatever FEMA region they're doing this October drill in. And everybody's like, oh, why are you ordering all this food? Oh. And now they're like the big talking point today I was listening to, and they were saying, oh, the government's gearing up for them to not order no food. Where's all the food? They got to order food if they're going to gear up for economic collapse. These guys are crazy. So maybe, Georgie, I'm just saying that all that stuff was a preparation for the economic collapse, and that was actually a good thing. Could you imagine all that food and the water that they sent there? It just dawned on me. Sorry.
I'm just noticing in the chat room that I believe Tony is on there commenting that we have no audio coming through on our simulcast on Global Fact Radio. So just anyone who's listening on there, or, well, I guess they're not hearing it on there, anyone who's tuned into there, I will just update as soon as the show is over the archive to it, and it takes within about 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then the show will be uploaded. So we'll miss out on the live broadcast itself, but it'll be uploaded and as if it never happened within about an hour, besides the fact that I just commented on there. But thanks for letting me know about the audio there, Tony, and then I'll have Yeah,
All apologies, guys.
And it even says he's been calling in to the show and nothing's happening. That's unbelievable, man. Blog Talk Radio seems to either miss call-ins or chat rooms close down or whole episodes get like not deleted but like stalled out. We have problems logging in. We've had Blog Talk themselves
we're gonna have soon, so.
admit that there's all those problems and all that. So that's why the live stream channel seems to not be screwing up as much so far. So we're doing pretty good that way. But yeah, as long as we are aware of the problem, we can kind of get on it right away. So thanks for the update. I'm just going to jump right back into our topic really quick. I have an article on screen. It's just a quick Wikipedia breakdown. It's called the Grace Commission. It's something that's been referenced to people. Ronald Reagan had the Grace Commission pulled up in, I believe it was 1982. And this was a commission that basically they were supposed to go out and find why the government is basically, the funding isn't there and all the they don't really have all the money. Like, where is income tax money going? So I actually have on screen the PDF file. This is directly from a publishing company. It's on screen, and I'm just showing you. This is January 12th, 1984, the Honorable President Ronald Reagan. And it's just a little summary of what's going on and how they think that they're at $424 billion in debt. They project by the year 2000 to be at $1.9 trillion per year, and it's just staggering figures. But what I like is if you scroll through some of these figures, and they actually go and find out that the income tax isn't really being all collected and used on infrastructure. It's actually being used to pay back certain debts, which is the private banks such as the Federal Reserve and stuff. I have one quote that I have on screen right now. With two-thirds of everyone's personal income tax is wasted or not collected, 100% of what is collected is absorbed solely by interest on the federal debt and by federal government contributions to transfer payments. In other words, all individual income tax revenues are gone before one nickel is spent on the services which taxpayers expect from their government. End quote. Straight out of the government document, right here on screen. This is the Grace Commission report, where they found that, not one nickel is spent on what you think.
I'll just touch on that, Chance.
What's that?
I'll just touch on that for you if you want.
Oh, yeah, please comment, Will.
My research and stuff, it's funny as hell because your taxes are going to pay, never mind that there's more debt owed than there is money in the country, actual currency. But the taxes from any one of the Admiralty Court jurisdictional countries, corporations, all the taxes, or the majority of, are going to the International Rothschild Central Banking Cabal. Now, they're the ones that are founded and are funding the United Nations. Now, our countries, as we just heard this week in the news, America and Canada thinking about becoming one country. I don't know what happened with Mexico with that, but it was supposed to be a trilateral thing there. Now, this is stupid, isn't it? Yeah, all your money's going to taxes to the Rothschilds. They're funding the United Nations. Your countries are selling out your sovereignty to the United Nations towards the eventual goal of a one world order. It's fucking hilarious when you think about it.
Yeah, it's
genius.
It's genius for them, and it sucks for us.
Your comment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, your comment there earlier about them labeling us conspiracy theorists, both before and after the fact, because we talk about this stuff and get it out there, and then they end up not doing it. To that, I don't care what they call me, and none of us should. I like Eminem's song there. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why did I say I am? Right? I'd rather be the watcher on the wall that stops it from happening and be ridiculed my whole life to know it didn't come to fruition.
Let's check out this story I have right here from MarketWatch on screen. U.S. stock futures sink on shutdown fears. Political turmoil in Italy. Chinese data also adds to investors' worries. They're basically saying in this article that the Chinese is almost saying, look, you owe us basically the majority of your debt is all Chinese owned, and it's treasury bonds that are being bought by themselves. The government's buying their own debt, if that makes any sense. And they're saying you need to call and ask us before you go and shut down your country and then cause everything to ripple, and it turned out to just be a whole bunch of crap. Just moving into some of the actual stories on the Obamacare that's attached to the bills and some of the trouble that's going on there. Just off the bat, just to get it working without even diving into the bills and what's going on, there's apparently a website that you go on, and that's what will let you know where you can buy your Obamacare health insurance and all that different stuff. So here, a couple articles on screen. I think I got about 3 or 4 of them. This one is from twitchyuspolitics.com. And it's called Surprise, Obamacare Health Insurance Exchange Websites Don't Work. Healthcare.gov, a total mess. Oh, man. The Affordable Health Care Act is moving forward. You can't shut it down. President Barack Obama. Wow. No need to shut it down, this article says. The Obamacare Health Coverage Insurance Exchange websites don't work. So even if he keeps his crap up and he keeps his policy on board, the actual site itself to sign up doesn't even work. It's just a bloody joke.
No, Chance, it changed a week ago. The site itself, the .gov, said there was at the top of the screen. It said like a question and answer thing, a frequently asked questions thing, and the top one was, "How do I get my free health care?" And then it changed to a week later. They updated the site. And it said, "How do I get my affordable health care?" Yeah. I mean, they all still. It's not like ours apparently. They all have to pay insurance or something.
Dude, I know. Well, they don't actually have to. And here's the problem. Back in the 40s and the 50s, basically up until mid-60s, 70s era, it used to be affordable. It used to be a pretty good program. It wasn't as good as Canada because Canada, we straight up will give you the entire deal for free. But we're selective of what we'll do, and won't always fix you. Sometimes we'll just put a Band-Aid on a very major problem and call that free health care. But I would rather have Canada's health care any day of the week over America's, especially now what they've leapt into, where the actual business owner themselves, say you're making $15 an hour, Paul, and you're working in America, you're making $15 an hour, the company now is expected to chip in like $4 towards an hour towards your Medicare program, your insurance, and you're going to have to chip in $3 or $4. So they're getting like, this giant chunk of money. So instead of them adding the $4 or $5 they've got to contribute plus your $15 and giving you a $20 an hour wage, they're either jacking your hours down and not having you as a full-time employee, knocking you below the 29-hour limit, making you part-time, not full-time anymore, or they're simply cutting your wages or totally letting you go, firing you on the spot. Jobs are closing, stores are closing, businesses are closing. Everything is going right to hell in a handbasket because of the communist, Marxist piece of garbage that's on screen right now. The guy's on screen. I can't stand looking at him, so I'm going to play a clip that makes fun of him for the next 40 seconds.
This all dates back to when we were growing up together in Kenya.
Yeah. And, if you got a business, that you didn't build that.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
And then have it given away. Just given away.
He gave us a phone.
Just given away by a long-legged, half-breed, usurper, illegal alien.
Yes, everybody in Cleveland, low minority, got Obama phone. Keep Obama in president, He gave us a phone.
Sometimes I do boneheaded things. I'm President Barack Obama. And I, too, want to slow jam the news.
This didn't get invented on its own.
He gave us a phone.
He gave us a phone. He's a jackass.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at a report right here.
Will sent me an article just before the show, and it's all about the Egyptian government, or elements of the Egyptian government have proof that the long-legged Mac Daddy there, Obama, is a Muslim, and he is in bed with the Muslim Brotherhood and is the reason that all these Christian massacres are going on, the rebellions are happening in all these countries, the Middle Eastern turmoil.
His
and all
brother's the financier.
Yeah, his
the
brother's
Muslim
literally the
Brotherhood.
financer of what's going on. All kinds of revelations. Now, none of this is shocking news to me because I've gone into detailed reviews of Barack Obama. You can look into some of the reports from Wayne Madsen are some of the best I've found on him, dating back all of Barack Obama's ties through his entire family history about how he is a complete CIA minion. Yeah, he is totally made up. Everything about him is a fake. The article I posted about hundreds of lies from Barack Obama, I've posted it more than 3 times. Every time I post it, it's deleted and gone in seconds. I'm going to have to make an entire YouTube video and do our mass spread again and get that out there with the information, because it's pretty damning. This guy is committed so many acts of treason, so many acts that he could be indicted for, all kinds of stuff that's just complete garbage. He is the worst. He is the worst possible president in history, in my opinion. And I'm just an outsider looking in. He's not even my president, and I'm disappointed in him. He's absolute terrible, and he's garbage. And he gets me so frustrated. I'm supposed to be in this world of consciousness and love and expanding my consciousness and being in a positive place. And I see Barack Obama on screen, and he makes me want to puke. Okay, that's why I wanted Mitt Romney to win. Even though he's worse and he's even more of a devil, he was just someone new for me to go off about because I can't stand Barack Obama. A couple more quick articles to pull up. Someone was trying to jump in all over me. Quick, spit it out while I'm pulling up the next article. I never shut up, I tell you. Oh, here's my next article. You guys took too long. This is from Forbes. Obamacare, a riches only the health insurance giants and their shareholders. This is an article that's basically saying, so far in 2013, the value of the S&P Health Insurance Index has gained 43%, basically doubling the entire stock market index of that insurance. Is that not unbelievable? Crazy.
Nothing surprises me anymore. That video you just had up there, do you see in the background? Do you remember the photographs with Adolf Hitler with the big eagle on top of the pole?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw it, the American version behind him. I just thought, how freaking crazy. We're just talking about this and
oh,
he's got his own staff right behind him.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, this is exactly what Will's talking about. The symbolism is just right out there. Now, I mean, if you take, for example, Jim Marrs, just to plug Jim Marrs, because I want to keep plugging him about 100 times. I have his book right here in my hand, Rise of the Fourth Reich, and it basically compares all of the stuff that happened in Nazi Germany compared to what's happening in modern-day America. This book actually came out in... I read this a while ago, so it's actually not that new. Looking. This came out in 2008, so he's right on target again. And he basically is called what's happened to America is turning into Nazi Germany. A number of things that happened: suppression of the press, papers, please, as you're walking around the country. All this stuff is happening and is going on in America today. And as you see in the picture, like Will was pointing out, the symbolism is there too. And this stuff basically never stops. The article I had is basically saying that the insurance companies are the only ones who are getting rich off this, and it's total crap. Pull up another article real quick. I'm rushing quick through all this stuff because I just want to get the information out as fast as I can, get it all up and post it online. Our shows are only an hour, so there's not a whole lot of time to get into it so in depth. But here is a firm that has been sued for fraud for millions and millions of dollars are now the ones who are going to sign people up with their critical information and all their private, documents. This is your health care. This is about your life. This firm is now who's signing people up for Obamacare. Okay, this is from the New York Post. It's on the screen. Fraudulent firm gets okay to sign people up for Obamacare. The rampant fraud on New York City contract last year didn't stop, and now they are the ones. Sedco is a New York-based community. Oh man.
They were caught. They were caught with tons of money that was embezzled or whatever. They laundered a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll through and see exactly.
430,000 or something like that. It had a big 4. It started with a 4 and 3, and it was big. 4.3 million. I don't know. It was a lot of money, man.
Oh, I'm just noticing an update in the chat room. Mark Fanjoy had Amy Finney, I believe is her last name, and she was talking about Steve, how he was locked up. That's one of the guys who went on the Kevin Annett show. Kevin Annett.
Awesome.
I'm not saying I'm a fan of him. I don't even like anything he does, and I don't pay attention. But it does suck when people go on these shows and end up in jail, because it doesn't help people like us who are putting on actual shows that don't have, shysters on, and you end up in jail. Or you end up prosecuted, and I've seen a number of people make statements like, well, why didn't Kevin Annett get prosecuted? That's a whole side issue. That guy's a whole other story there. But just checking on some of the updates, because we had his wife on last night of Steve, and she was on to give just a couple updates about his bail and that he was being beat up in jail and stuff like that. And I believe it says in the chat room that Steve is out of jail. So that's a major step forward. I know that was in the Kitchener jail, which is really close to me, and I know that we pass Kitchener every day on our way to work and back, so it would have been nothing to swing over there with a couple of cameras and get some live updates, and that was on our list of things to do throughout the week. But update, he's out of jail, and that's good news, so that's awesome. I'm sure we'll hear more about that.
Where he belongs is home with his family.
Yeah. People going out to try and talk the truth, and you end up in jail, and you don't get to be with your family. This is one of the things that my better half is talking about all the time. She's waiting for NDAA to come through the front door and come pick up, tear apart the family and do all these things, because people have to try and stand up for their community, stand up for themselves, stand up for their family, stand up for what's right, what's happening in the world, and it's just atrocious, some of the things that are happening when you look at the government. Even the Canadian government is no innocent party here. Everyone likes to harp on America and Obama, and I'm totally guilty of that, but Canada, no better. We have some free speech zones here too as well. We have all this crap that we shouldn't have. You go to jail for 10 years in Canada for wearing a mask. These masks that you see on the V for Vendetta or the anonymous groups, you wear one of those, you go to a protest, you're getting your ass locked up, and it's not cool. I definitely wanted to try and, go and see these protests that happen, because it's our freedom's eroding right in front of us, and when one fundamental freedom goes, they all go, and no one's there to stick up for us. So, no, I have a number of other things I'll try and pull up on screen as fast as I possibly can. Here's an article that had people fuming mad. This is from the Huffington Post, who isn't very good at all. From the NSA spying and Viper sweeps to domestic drones, a roundup of police state programs are not affected by government shutdown. Is that surprising to any of us here on this station? No, but it's basically telling you all the bad, super bad shit that if American government shut down, we would hope would shut down, is still there, unaffected, multi-billion and trillion-dollar funding. There's no way they're going to cut the funding of these senators. They're not going to cut any of their lifetime pensions. They're not going to cut the military program. They're not going to cut the drones. They're not going to cut any of the...
and they spend $500 million too on the eve of the shutdown.
Yeah, and they're also opening a brand new NSA spying hub that's like trillions of dollars in the works. And oh, sorry, we're a little bit poor. Yeah, you're a little bit poor on the fact that you ran out of tax money to spend because you don't collect it all and you spend it all on Federal Reserve notes. But you got no problem turning on the printing press when they need it. So it's just crazy. The national parks and the facilities that they're somebody's thing. It's all theater. These parks that they're shutting down, they're not even a part of the government that's being affected. So they're just shutting down a park for no reason, kicking people out, and it's just more tyranny right in your face, basically just showing people what they could do. I don't think there's a major event coming up in October, but I know some of the signs are there, and some of the stuff that's happened is pretty extreme. It looks bad. I don't think it's actually as bad as what it really is on these people who are all like something's going to happen immediately, so no big fret there, but I do think that we need to stay diligent and stay on target and be on top of these people for when this stuff happens. You have people like us in alternative media and all the people that we work with out there reporting on these events, so that's basically all I had.
As long as we get the word out enough, they can't do it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's a true story.
And
Paul?
that's what they'll start legislating against us and whatnot, so we can't.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Paul, you got...
we need to start getting organized to make sure we have response teams. You get taken out of your house, and we have a fund that we can fly in a few boys, have local guys on the ground right there.
Exactly. I'm just going to quickly mute Will up for 1 second. Paul, final comment. We've got less than 60 seconds on this week's show.
We got less than 50 seconds.
Yep.
We're living in crazy times when all this is going on, guys, and history's happening in front of us, and it's the best of times and the worst of times, as they say. So, hey, man, Putin's the leader of the free world, stopping 3 wars now, so give him a peace prize.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when our freedoms are basically riding on the backs of Russia right now. It's terrible. All right, thanks for calling in, Paul. Great to hear from you again this week. Thanks to Will for calling in, everyone in the chat room. Thanks, Tony, for letting me know that the Global Facts simulcast wasn't working, and I'll update the audio feed right now. I got 5 seconds left. Thanks to everybody. I will see you back live next week on Wednesday for our show. See you later.
Later.
Broadcasting live on Network Radio.
So turn off your television set, turn them off now, turn them off and leave them off.
All right, anybody who's still watching the live stream, I'm just shutting down the
using
audio
Blog
from
Talk
the
Radio.
radio station,
Goodbye.
and I'll be running quickly to update what happened on the Global Facts station. Thanks to everyone who tuned in on the live stream. We'll see you right back from the Media Broadcasting Center. I believe our next show is Friday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See ya.